What's good, gente? Thank you guys once again, like always, for tuning in. As you guys can see on the thumbnail and on the title, right? We're gonna be doing a reaction on that on a video monster, and it's real popular right now, especially because this video of that hit, right? That he does talk about in detail, happens to be roaming around YouTube. I won't be displaying that video, of course, but we're gonna be reacting to the interview and what he actually says on that interview, right? Because it's actually a cold piece, right? But before we get into all that, man, I would highly appreciate if you hit that like, subscribe, hit that follow, hit that notification bell, just in case we go live. You guys already be knowing, man. I highly do appreciate every single one of you guys. And gracias, man. Real talk. So let's add this video, which happens to be on Flacco's Compass Perspective. I fast forward a little bit, right? I try to get to where Monster's talking. So let's see what he has to say, man. I do apologize getting used to this new computer, but let's get it.
Murder. That there's a lot of speculation that's came from the media in the process of.
Sorry, guys. I'm fast forwarding a little bit.
One allegedly through suicide.
So without further ado, I got a Nuestra Cosa member, Cody Taylor, aka Monster, in the house. How you doing, Monster?
Hey, what's that, big
Man, chilling, man. So you reached out to me and you wanted to clear up some things about your last case, bro. So I'm gonna let you have open platform to say what you need to say. Take your time with it. I'm right here.
So before anything, Flacco, he's known to bring some interviews, bro, that people would be quite surprised at times, right? Like, oh, how the fuck he does it. But Flacco does go out of his way, you know, and he makes it happen, G. I'll just say that. He either calls the right people, or maybe these dudes really go out there and reach out like that. But if I'm not mistaken, around this time, it's around the time that Snoop ended up kind of cutting him off, or he cut off Snoop, I should say, right? And then Scrappy came into the whole picture. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you guys remember. So maybe Scrappy ended up lining up his boys to, you know, kind of put how the NC gets down. You know, the NC is a group that came out the riders. And that's probably one of the reasons why they wanted me to react to this, right? Wanted to see if I had something to say about old boy, man. All right, let's press play real quick, Spencer.
All right, now, hey, yeah, homie, like the homie said, it should be, this is NC Monster right here. I'm coming out of 805 and shit, coming from all my gente out of California Department of Corrections, homeboy. You know how we do shit, active and attractive in this motherfucker. So,
I'm sorry, I had to put pause, right? Okay, look. I ended up watching the video, man, and I'll even give him his props on this one, right? I'm gonna give him his props. Shout outs to Dubs, right? He ended up saying that shit like, hey, what the hell? You know, what do you mean active and attractive, right? Like, I guess old boy is really feeling himself, homie. You know, people in prison, they do get a little bit conceited, and it happens, G. You know, it happens. For the other people that are probably wondering, like, what? He's coming from the 805. Yeah, man, there is riders down there. They actually have a pretty good stronghold, to be quite real. You can either believe it or not, bro. You know, but let's press play, man, and I'll get into more details later down the line or in another video on why a lot of Sureños or just homies in general end up going that route instead of going towards other groups like the 2-5 and stuff like that. But let's press play, man.
real quick, though, to all my oppositions, excuse this little few-year delay and shit. I've been in Pelican Bay, just taking this case to the box, homeboy, so just a little update, homie. There's a lot of shit that's going on, you know, this and that, but it's nothing, it ain't nothing real, you know what I mean? So the update real quick was, I was one of the last Norteño riders, homie, that, you know, out of 2018, the books opened, and, you know, I was fortunate, G, they gave me that opportunity, you know, to become a monster and shit, and, you know, very few who could really uphold this way of life, you feel me? So, to achieve such this rank.
So, okay, right there, I'm going to have to rewind a little bit because I didn't really understand what the fuck he was saying. Spencer, no disrespect, but I didn't really understand what he was saying. Something about he was one of the last Norteño riders in 2018. Well, to be real, man, the Norteños riders, that got dismantled, right? Or at least they started pushing that little agenda that there wasn't going to be no more Norteño riders. Like in 2000, I want to say 14, 15. By the time I got out, I mean, it was already known that it was just certified riders and riders. But of course, man, a lot of people disagree with that. Those are facts. But let me just rewind a little bit, man, because he does say some other stuff that I didn't really catch.
2018, the books opened, and I was fortunate. G, they gave me that opportunity, to become a monster and shit, and very few who could really uphold this way of life. You feel me? So to achieve such this realm, homeboy, I had to really disregard like any physical or mental plateau that was, kind of holding me back and shit. But the next few years, homie, they were very precisely calculated, to say the least, homie. So to the issues at hand, Flaco, it really started in 2019, man. And after a few fiebos and we pretty much.
Okay, so I think he's talking about when the whole Nuestra Cosas got created, right? I could be wrong, but that's probably what he's talking about, because at the beginning when they first started coming around, it wasn't Nuestra Cosas, it was Nuestros Compadres, and they were still trying to recruit a lot of the compas, right? A lot of the riders that were still pushing that thing, or the ones that really wanted to be still Norteño rider, man. There was a lot right here in the Calles is way different, and they weren't able to like actually scoop all those fools up, but they did get a good little amount, bro. Shit, there's a one that I actually know. Well, actually, the runners, the one that took the runner's baby mama, right? Oh boy, actually, he happened to be in that yard, man, where they actually created the whole thing in Salinas. But let's press play and continue.
Much made our thing in the present zone in Corcoran Sabato food, but they ended up separating us, homie, and sending me to New Folsom, which was B Yard. It's a GP 180 level 4, but more precisely, homie, we opened up the California long-term restricted housing unit, specifically D8 and shit, and it's a regular shoe, so pretty much, homie, like Bacos from every walks of life, homie, and every security threat group, we started to occupy and fill up B8. But I was fortunate, homie. Yeah, they gave me the opportunity, homie, to have my viejo from Bombay, from Tracy right there. He was side by side.
Okay, so that's something that catches me off guard too, right? and every time it just reminds me of old boy, man. It reminds me of old boy what he was saying. I can't. I mean, that's what at first. I mean, I do apologize, gente. I was gonna do a reaction on a reaction, right? But then I was like, I don't really like talking about cases like this. But old boy put it out all crazy, homie. So I mean, people hit a one on the live and they wanted to see this video, but man, I never actually heard that neither, G. So maybe that's a new way for them to call each other instead of using the word compa, they call each other viejo, which no disrespect, bro, it just doesn't sound right. I mean, it's not the first time though. I heard the paisanos use it, but it rarely, homie, rarely. Let's hit play though.
In full capacity, but another brother of mine who's been down a minute with me, and this fool, not only did he risk his life, homie, but he gave his life up. We have separate causes, in course, but it's loyalty, Flaco, because a nigga can love you all he wants, homie, and still fuck you over, but genuine loyalty, homie, that's really until the last breath,
So I'm not sure if his co-defendant's actually Nuestra Cosa or not, because he did say he's not part of like the same little thing. But I could be wrong, man. I might have to go back on that one, but I don't want to continue pausing and stuff like that. I know a few of you guys don't like that stuff, but this is where he starts getting a little bit, because I mean there was a lot of backlash, man. I know a lot of people were saying like, "What's up with the fools from SNY?" because of what he says right here, man. Like, is that the actual get down? But we'll get into that right now.
What I'm saying, so obviously, homeboy, with all these alphas in this building, homeboy, tensions were high as fuck. Let me tell you. So in October of 2019, one active Moreno, I think he was a crip or some shit. This also had to. He said some fuck shit regarding NC this or that. I couldn't remember to really tell you the specific words, but instantly, homie, my Cody and we had to, set a demonstration, and we lit the Vato up and, showed all these alpha males who was really active in the building and shit, but we had this Vato saying, fuck his hood.
So when he's saying like the whole alpha male, right, he's just referring that they're beasts. Everybody that's in there's pretty much with that activity, and if the doors pop or whatever, they're gonna take that win now, right? And he's giving them that respect at least. I mean, if you pay attention, man, he's still giving them that respect. And I mean, let's continue with it because I know it's going to get into some detail, and some of you guys may even be like, man, Nuestra Cosa are on some beast mode, homie. And I'll get into the whole why are they on social media a little bit more openly than some of the other groups, right? I know you guys are gonna be like, well, fuck the presidente for the writers. That fool's all out there, G, on some JCat shit. But that's a different story. Let's press play.
And all of the above and shit. So me and my Cody and my Yahoo dog, we started to orchestrate the next demo, homie. And before I get into any of the real details, there's a few aspects that really need to be presented, homie, just to clear up some shit. So my Cody, homie, that's my blood brother. I'm gonna leave his name out of this shit just due to I've yet to inquire just how he feels about this open line of communication and this channel, of the media or whatnot.
So, I mean, right there alone, he shouldn't even brought up his whole Cody, right? He shouldn't even brought up his whole Cody. Even him just already going on the thing, I mean, it's going to affect the court thing. He's going to say a little bit more right now, but I wanted to press pause, right? Because I had said this in prior videos, right? And people may say, oh, it's an agenda, carnal, it's an agenda. No, man, when it comes to some of these groups, some people, especially if they're participating on STG groups, I know some people are gonna be like, man, well, they got nothing but trash over there. Nah, G, they'll get that shit twisted. There's not fucking just basura over there. There's some haters, bro. But when he's saying that, man, it's because there could still be some type of backlash, homie. There could be some type of backlash when it comes to some of their members knowing that he either jumped online or that he was on having a conversation. I just put it like this: on a 4-yard, if someone knows that, or just I mean, they know that you're all bad like that. I mean, that can. I don't want to throw names, homie, because people do get all in their feelings, and I'm trying to give you guys a righteous reaction, homie. But you guys, some of you guys may catch the drift. If not, drop a comment and I'll let you guys know. I'll probably end up playing this on a premiere so that I can interact with you guys while it plays out, bro. To be quite honest.
And I'm currently unaware of the Vatos court status, so just out of respect, but my goon is a savage, bro, and to all the real G's out there, you know who he is, homie. And more importantly, for NC, bro, we ain't never will be clicked up with anybody. We do our thing, homie, and that's period. You know what I'm saying? So, Michael.
So I'm guessing this Cody is an NC, right? I guess he is an NC. It still has me a little confused on that, but I'm guessing he is an NC, especially since he's saying they're not clicking up. But I mean, it wasn't really too smart of old boy, man, especially if he didn't know Cody's his actual court status, right? He should have either hit up Flacco or hit up someone to actually kind of look it up to see if it was already done. I mean, I know it don't pop up right away, but there's always ways to kind of find out, especially if old boy has like a CDC or someone could have reached out just to figure out his actual court status, because I mean, it could affect it. This video right here, especially I believe he does get into some details, so it could be something that it would affect. And for the people that are going to be telling me like, well, Conejo, would that be considered telling, or you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, yeah, in some type of way, yeah, bro, they can use it on court. But if old boy ain't tripping, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I don't even want to say, but I hope that whatever was said was worth it, homie. Well, let's press play.
He did his full participation for him and his gente and his loyalty to me. You know what I'm saying? But it should be noted, homie, that this couldn't have transpired without, calculated moves by all three of us. Biel, Bombays, and my Cody. But last but not least, homie, I must address.
Oh man, yeah. For the people that are probably wondering, man, on those yards, you may think that just because they're locked up that there's no drugs, right? There's drugs, homie. So, I mean, I could maybe say that old boy was just on a good one, and I'm not saying the story's fake. No, Charles, that's probably gonna be hella real, homie. You guys seen the video, right? But like how he's talking, it's just like, damn, it's just crazy, homie.
This Green, homie. This fool decided to become state evidence, homie, and not only did he not participate in any capacity, bro, he became the district attorney's most credible informant. You know what I mean? And he attempted to take responsibility.
Dispense out, but I mean, this video right here, if your Cody was it did the same thing, carnal. You know, you don't even have to go over there. I mean, the video will do it itself.
And whatnot, and but this Moreno, bro, all this fool did was stay in his cell and hold our shit, bro, because we had to pass customs,
Yeah.
But all those dozens of documents, homeboy, in multiple interviews, bro, that shit's all all rat facts. You know what I mean? Dude's a clown, homie. So as we prepare, homie, we first wanted these oppositions. We wanted them to get comfortable. You know what I mean? So we gave them our palabra that NC ain't gonna bust no nigga in cuffs, or NC ain't gonna do this, or we could have separate day rooms, all that shit. But to beta too.
So something about prison, man, especially when you're with these STG groups, if you have the right like teachers, or if you actually have some right big homies, right, that are just part of the same movement or something, they'll teach you how to do stuff like that, bro. And it's something that I recommend people. I mean, I never recommend people to go to jail, right? That's off tops. But if you do happen to land in there, I would want everybody, right, to be able to do their time peacefully. But sometimes, man, you just put in bad situations, and in situations like this, it's always kind of good to kind of know how to get out of certain things, homie, because it was a bad movida, homie. I don't know if you guys seen the video, and I know he's gonna get into detail right now, bro, but it was bad, homie. It was actually bad, but I know a lot of people just got different things. Some people may say it's a peseta move. Well, these dudes are PCs, homie. You know what I mean? But being tied up or not in prison, well, people are gonna do what they gotta do, homie. And if his body was, it was on the lease now, then it just happens like that, bro.
Tuna fish, homeboy, we really had to be patient, and take it real slow. So as weeks passed, homie, we extended our grace, a little bit more, put some top ramen, put some Folgers on the line, just made them, just made them feel comfortable, homie. Put all that shit on the hook and shit, but
and that's, hey, everybody does that, bro. That's something that people use or learn from out here in the calles, right? Shit. Sometimes when your hood wants to give one of the homies a paca, right? For an example, you're gonna be hella cool with them. You're gonna try to make him feel as comfortable as he can, right? So he don't see it coming. It's the same thing in jail. When they do removals, they make sure that you're nice and tired, but by the meantime, hey, they're gonna be treating you nice and firme. Certain groups, yeah, some groups may shine you off. Some groups may even put you on standby, homie. But if they can actually get you without you even noticing, it's even better for them, bro. And on the SNY side, the dropout side, that's something that happens all the time, bro. Especially if or you just like, let's for an example, you happen to be in the hole, G, and you're not gonna be able to get to this dude. Hey, there's gonna be a time or opportunity, so might as well keep it cool so that old boy gets comfortable, and that when that time does come, you guys seen what happened, bro. It was a bad situation.
As the second month rolled in, bro, we had to create a real mob diversion, which treaties coming from Kern Valley, the security threat group block, and
Wait. Did you say that you guys submitted fake peace treaties from other STG groups? Is that what you just said?
Yeah. So we had to create, fake letters, homie, basically implying like, hey, the deadlock's over, So that was it was a little rough, but we had to do what we had to do, homie, to get these fools out there, bro.
So yeah, like I said, bro, you gotta do that type of shit, bro. Some people may not want to go program, and if you're trying to do those moves, then you gotta do what you gotta do. As you guys could see on some of the tattoos, I was gonna like elaborate on them, right there. He's displaying, of course, his NC with the star. Instead of getting the bunny logo, they are getting the star logo. I remind you, most of the NCs, not now, but the ones that created it, they honestly believed in the whole Norte cause, homie. They believed in that thing, but they rebel, homie, and they wanted to do something different. So I know some people are gonna be like, "Well, the homies from the 805 area, homie." I'll get into some of those details later down the line. But he said in the beginning of the video, he was one of the last Norteño riders. He's letting you know that he don't see none of that south or north. He was thinking more about just that movement, homie. And it's a little bit different when you're inside. You're not really thinking about border lines, especially not on those SNY yards or dropout yards, right? Um, but on the other picture earlier, I don't know if you guys were able to see it had like a 3 and then a 14. So people were probably like, damn, what the fuck? So the 14, of course, man, is for the letter N, right? And the 3, some people may even would have thought, right, that hey, it's a 13. No, it's not a 13, homie. It's actually just the number 3, homie, for the letter C, G. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue with this video, G.
Nobody was coming out with us, you know what I mean? So we made the letters and shit, pretty much saying that, you know, the war's over in the other institutions and everything's pretty much good, you know what I mean? So from right there, homie, the doors started to like slowly open, you know, and Vatos, if you only knew, homie, how close we really got. But that's, you know, that's another story, homie. So we had Big Bird, a homeboy, which was you know, just a 12-inch desktop, homie, which was carefully designed just to really down it.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Yeah, homie, just to really down a nigga, to be honest, bro. But it was carefully designed for old boy, you know. But anyhow, homie, we became best buddies, homie, and the day just begun. So as I'm praying, you know, to the rolling gods and shit, hopefully these fools don't shoot my ass. I see these cats, homie, these ops, homie. This cat named Rascal, homeboy from, I think he was from 47 South Central, but the doctor was a Seattle, you know, just a faceta, fool, and he drove by my dad. We did.
So something about the NCs is that they don't really get along with the two fibers, right? Those are just facts. The reason why is because some of those NCs continue to have prior history when they were riders. The riders and the two fibers have funked in the past, but they've been they let go of certain issues and program. It just depends on what yard you land, and it depends on who's there, homie. Sometimes it could be on and cracking. Sometimes it's just cool, you know. But when it comes to the NCs, homie, that's something that they kind of took in personal, right? They kind of see them as an enemy, and let's just put it like that. It's not just the riders, homie. It's those two, I guess, right? But let's continue to see because he's gonna start talking about the whole detail.
You know, drive by, but this bottle was creed up, Franco. I'm telling you, brand new zapatos, full brand new clothes, you the whole 9 yards, homie. So instantly, bro, I get an ear-to-ear smile because I knew, bro, this bottle was going to hell. You know what I mean? He was dressed for a party, homie. So anyhow, as everybody was pretty much present on the door because everybody knew besides this bottle, you know. So these fools had popcorn and snacks, and they were just at the windows, homie. So first, my goon, KS, homie, that fool took a hard left. Once we busted out the black box, this fool hit the staircase, homie, and I tailed him, homie, but I was...
Damn, I should actually try to play the we're at just to make sure that the video is playing, bro. Spends on we're on the 24-minute mark. All right, I'll make sure that the thing's playing, brother. And you guys can actually see, man, these dudes run up. They have actually a lot of time, and it just happens like that, bro. The COs ain't gonna really get involved like that. Yeah, they'll shoot from a distance, but oh boy explains how it all went down and how he got away with it without getting shot at least.
Hey, it's gonna be all right, buddy. Don't worry. But so about 6 staff members, I think 5 or 6, they try to open the section door, bro, but Big Bird had something to say about it, you know. So they weren't invited to the party, fool. So they busted a U-turn, fool, and pretty much left old boy to suffer the consequences, bro. So as we get closer, old boy, I pretty much pull up right behind her, and I bury Bird a deep.
Yeah, that's a cold piece, man. Old boy's homies couldn't get to him, G. So a lot of his homies got to see these dudes, do their thing to them, right? So that's just right there alone, homie. That's gonna bring hella hate. And like I said, man, these dudes have been funking, right? But that's just a little bit more fuel, right? That's hey, they can never be peace with certain groups because of reasons like this. Especially when people come on social media, because this video is always gonna be out. It's already on YouTube, right? Hella people have reacted to it. Um, it's gonna always be out there. So people that see this, even the next generation, right? Because I don't think that the 2.5 is gonna end up dying out no time soon. The NCs, to what it seems like, they're barely starting, homie. I think they're trying to compete with the Zapatistas, homie, when it comes to the discipline and how they're gonna be getting down. G, as you can tell, most of the NCs, yeah, there's some in the calles that ain't lifers, but the ones that are lifers, homie, they're displaying G that they're with that activity, and they don't care if they fucking talk about it on social media, if they get their Codys messed up. I shouldn't even say that, right? Because I don't even know what's up with this Cody, but you guys catch the drift, homie. They just don't care. And they're displaying it so that people see out here in the calles. And for some youngsters, man, there's probably gonna be some youngsters that are gonna be like, "Oh, these fools are with the best," and they might want to follow that route if they defect or whatever, right? They see those things, and that's what these dudes are trying to achieve. But childish, man, I'll just tell the youngsters straight up, you don't want to be like none of these pendejos, homie. Those are just facts. The real life, the real enjoyment, the real everything, it's out here in the calles, homie. It's not in there. But let's press play, bro. I don't wanna. We got another 3 minutes.
Deep, bro, like real deep, right where his heart beats, and I just bottomed out, like 10, 20, 30, 40, 47 times I think it was, but not to miss any details, homeboy. The canines, they started to, they were having a good old time shooting our ass, so if one hits me, bro, one hits me right where the baby maker is, homie, from like 20 feet away, and finally for once the kid was back, homie, my shit was swollen, but let me tell you, Frost, that shit dropped me, bro. So
Oh shit.
my Cody took charge, homeboy. Yeah, that shit hit me right in the baby maker, bro. But my Cody, he took charge, homie, and decimates the remainder of bruh's little heart, and as the mini starts.
See, like, I get it, bro. The video is gonna do super good. I don't know how it's gonna do over here, but like, I'm pretty sure it did super good with Flaco because of some of the details he said, and especially now, it's probably doing better now after people are reacting to it. And it's an old video, man, so he's getting shine for this video right now, right? Especially after the other one was playing out. Um, the whole situation with this of him giving those details, man, that can on. I hope that his co-defendant, right? He's done with this case. I hope that he's done with this case because let's just say this dude's already a lifer. That's our guarantee. So that's why he don't care. But let's say oh boy wasn't a lifer and he was actually trying to fight for some type of freedom, right? With this tape alone, bro, yeah. Or with this interview, it's not even this tape, homie, because there's like 100 of these tapes already. But this interview alone messed that any of those chances up.
To rack, fool. These fools are racking the mini by now, homie, and we start hiding behind the plexiglass, but the shit's sticking up out the Vato's neck, bro. So as we're, we jump out of the flexi, whack, whack, and then we go back as the Vato reloads, and go back and forth, and I'm telling my Cody, hey, fool, hit that Vato where his heart beats, homie. So finally, fool, we snatched the nigga's soul, bro. It's over, and but Big Murder, that shit ain't in my hand, homie. So by now there's no more shooting going on. But I take a little cup of blood, homie, that was on Blood's shirt, and I had to do it for the cameras, homie. I had to, do the little Aztec war paint on my face and my killer Cody's face, homie, with the little blood shake,
See, well, right there, as he's letting you guys know, man, he was doing it for the camera, which which is sad, it's sad because it's not something to boast about, don't get me wrong, bro. Yeah, they did that. I mean, they took someone's life. If I'm not mistaken, oh boy was chained up, right? I think he was chained up. So I mean I wouldn't even count that, but I mean they did that, right? Okay, they did that. But he's letting people know that it's all for the camera, homie. They want to be put on social media, man. They want people to see. And I guess they want to be able to tell their mom, carnal, hey, I told you I was going to be on the tele. You know what I'm saying? Or that eventually I would be on there. Well, it's not the way you really want to be, but it is what it is, man. It's just, like I said, homie, it's something that they want to put out there so that people will say, like, oh, these fools are with the business and they're the elite of the elite. You know what I mean? But it's pretty play.
And but bro, we just getting started, homie. So you know, as we're out there, homie, we out in the day room and shit. We pretty much just try to hold the motherfucker hostage, homie. Because to be honest with you, we held it hostage for like another 14 minutes. But we were trying to be, you know, sure that there was.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Yeah, like no life-saving measures that could be revived, you know. So it was nothing personal to them, but you know they could come get that shit back in blood. You know what I mean? But finally, homeboy, to be the honest,
So they made sure that the old boy died, right? Once they stopped stabbing him, which I mean, I'm pretty sure he was already dead. Sometimes the body just like naturally be like the muscles, right? They move a little bit here and there. But more than likely, he was dead, man, after they had stabbed him a couple times, especially in the heart. You know what I'm saying? Because I think old boy did say that he got him a couple times right there, man. Or he was telling old boy to stab him right in the corazon, and he got poked so many times, leaking out there. So let's just say he was alive, right? Them prolonging from old boy getting medical assistance, which it probably wouldn't have even help, to be real, man. Once they started pumping his stomach, you would have probably died right there anyways, or they would have finished him off. Um, they still prolonged it, bro, just to make sure, you know. And even though boy says it's nothing personal, which I mean, in prison, it's all business, man. At the end of the day, man, things happen like that. But this is why the war always continues, homie. That's why you always constantly hear that the NCs and the two fibers are always getting off.
was over, you know, it was over and whatnot. But the difference, homeboy, is between real and fake G's over here, homie. We're not attempting to exhaust any type of diplomatic disputes. You know what I'm saying? And to all the real G's out there, you must be vigilant of these soft ass fools because they got this fake ass mafia type shit. You know, Kevin Gates said some shit a while back about him having two phones, bro. Like, yeah, we got two hoes, Chavez, you know what I mean? So, in conclusion, bro, to all my like-minded and like-hearted motherfuckers out there, onward, homeboy, with this beautiful struggle. And, I'm gonna have to give an NC shout out to all my righteous yahoos real quick, striving and pursuing this old school lifestyle, homie.
So yeah, so I guess the word viejo is, I guess that's the new term they're using instead of calling each other compas, because you gotta remember, man, even me, I don't rock with that group no more, but I still slip up and I still say that word. It just became a habit, bro. So even for them, I guarantee you it slips up here and they're like, "What's up, compa?" You know, and they're probably like, "Fuck, we hate these dudes now, bro." You know, even though they were part of that group, as you can see, man, old boy still hasn't covered up his NR and the bunny thing, because they still display that they're the part of the original Norteño Riders, homie. You know what I'm saying? And I wonder what they think about all these Norteño Riders or ex Norteño Riders, you know what I'm saying? When they see the whole NR blasted on them, do they trip on them, especially since they were once part of that? If there's any NCs on them, man, drop a comment. I seen videos where they talk smack about certain riders that step back, but let's be real, man. If you guys pushed away and became a whole new movement, why are you feeling bad that these fools just pushed away? You know what I'm saying? Hey, they weren't feeling the new change. That's all it was. But if there's any of them out there, man, let me know, man. What you guys honestly think about that, man? Or if you guys happen to have it, are you guys obligated to cover it up? Because I know that with the certified riders, that's something that they've been pushing. They don't want no one to really have that whole NR logo no more, especially because they're trying to keep it certified, homie. But let's press play.
Big Sporty from TC, homie. Scrappy from San Ho, homie. Gangster Gold from Delcoto. Big Mom Bass from Tracy. Papa John from Hayward. Baby Gangster from Merced. And you know.
I think I'm gonna end it right here. I think he's just giving out shout outs to all his fellow NCs. If he wants or if the NCs want, shit, I'll give him a shout out for you, homie. We got the roster right here, G. But look, man, let me get back over here. Let me exit fucking oh boy. And that's I never let me actually just put the picture. Let me show you the picture of the three, homie. So as you guys can see on this picture, right? On this picture, he has a 14, and then looks like he had a 1-3, right? But it's not a 1, bro. It's just a 3 for the C. I don't know what the hell this other stuff is. It could have been that little initials that he had in the start, but yeah, it's a trip, man. That how they ended up changing some of the logos and how the riders, man, well, the riders they do or they used to get the 14, 18. Now it's just the 18. So yeah, it's just a trip. But let me remove this right here and let's get back into this. So, what do you guys honestly think about this whole situation, bro? I thought it was a cool piece, him going just online, to be quite real. Going online, I think he did his Cody dirty, homie. Hopefully, his co-defendant had his case done. And hopefully, they were able to get a nice little decent bag, homie. And they got some sopas over there to grub. The whole motive with the NC coming on social media, like I said earlier, is so that people see them. They want to be recognized. You guys got to remember, the Norteño Riders, they got known real quick, homie, as one of the fastest growing, I'll say, dropout gangs, right? For the people don't get too in their feelings. But one of the biggest dropout gangs, homie, to grow in the shortest amount of time, homie. So they want to get that recognition and get people to want to become NCs, because that's something that they've been doing, as well as the New Flowers and all these other groups. But with all that being said, gente, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit a like for your boy, man. Make sure to subscribe, hit that follow, hit that notification bell just in case we go live. I do apologize, man, that I did make a pretty long video. Hope you guys don't mind. I will be putting this on the premiere so that I can interact with you guys in the comments. So with all that being said, gente, thank you guys once again for tuning in. Like always, yes, I, man, appreciate the support. It's your boy Conejo. Catch you on the next one. We out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Woohoo! What fuck squirt gun?
It's me.